Hi guys, welcome to a great video. You might be asking why great, but the question is really easily answered right here. As you can see, this game was running for almost 1.5 hours, and this is just a ranked 1v1 on the free player map. So let's just start with it. We don't have any time to waste here. I'm starting in the top left corner with the Red Empire or Red Human, and my opponent Nikuda, one of the top 5 players right now, is also playing as humans in the top right corner with the purple color. So he's going for an opener with sawmill and barracks, and then actually taking his 7th peasant and going for a farm. Usually you say take the first peasant you produce, which is the 7th one, for gold, and then you go for a farm with the next one. He swapped this, probably kinda okay. He will have a little bit more food, maybe he has plans with it for later, so I think pretty much kinda okay. He's placing the barracks on the right side, which is pretty usual to protect this entrance. I'm starting with barracks with 6 peasants, then going for some extra wood, and we are immediately going for the upgrade to fort on our town hall and creating 2 swordsmen to scout our opponent. Of course, this is indicating quick knight strategy, which we'll see if I'll manage to do this in game quickly or not. But obviously I won't get rushed. The game is going for 1.5 hours, so definitely there will be a lot of end game. And I know that some of you were saying or writing on Discord and these kinds of stuff that you really like macro heavy games, and you feel like this game doesn't really allow it, that if you try to go for expansions you just get rushed and these kinds of stuff. That's definitely true. It's hard to play macro in this game, but this matchup will be a perfect example of how you can actually do this. Yeah, so definitely stay tuned. Maybe not everyone till the end, but at least a little longer. So we are taking both swordsmen, the safest routes, checking the expansions. He also sent a scout out, but only 1 swordsman, and he sent it to the other location. So we haven't really found anything here. I don't even think he saw my swordsman. And here I saw him. I saw the sawmill in his base. And now of course he's also shooting me with 3 archers. So we just know that he's going for the archer strategy, which is immediate indicator for me to go for the knights. So we are going for stables. Of course it's not like that archers couldn't kill knights. Yeah, if you micromanage them well and you have enough of them and you attack quickly enough, you can still push the strategy of a knight or like a player with the knight strategy with archers. But it's still really good for me as well to go the knights against the archers. If I saw that he has a lot of swordsmen, I would probably rather go for some more defensive option. As you can see now, he already scouted me with the swordsman from the bottom of the map. He went through the whole map and found me here. He found 1 of my swordsmen. I had a little bit more HP. That was the swordsman that scouted also the bottom side, but I didn't have to go through these archers, so I had a little bit more HP, so I was able to kill him. But now he saw what I was doing. He noted I have fort. He probably also scouted the stables, and you can see my reaction here. It's actually not to go for immediate knights, but instead I'm spamming swordsmen and I'm going for the bows upgrade for our peasants, so they can use ranged attacks when they are standing on top of buildings. So that's really good for defense. You can sometimes do this. The problem is that it's extremely expensive, 400 gold and 200 wood, so it totally kills your economy and also any chance of actually producing some early knights. But as you can see, he's actually going for a push, not necessarily with swordsman, which would be more optimal, and I was definitely expecting that. Of course, bows become useless against swordsman push once they have shields, but most people against knight strategies are going for quick swordsman from even maybe 2 barracks, and they obviously don't have resources for the shields yet. They don't even have smithy. So in this situation, this was actually kinda smart. And even against the archers it will be quite useful. I'm still shooting over the roof, but he didn't really know how many units I have there. He didn't want to risk anything else, so he just retreated, which was really good for me that I pushed him back. If he actually went in, I would probably kill him. Yeah, I have lots of peasants, but it would slow down my economy a lot, and he could be still producing at home. He would be getting some resources from it, so it's questionable if it would be better for him to push this or not. I don't think he would kill me, but it could definitely slow me down, so potentially a small mistake from him, but at the same time playing safe is also not bad. Yeah, so I think this was kinda well played from both of us. So now I'm immediately going for the knights. I'm really behind on resources, but we are somehow trying to quickly catch up. In the meantime, I'm just using my swordsman to kill these wolves. You also want to level up the swordsman, and once they have level 2 or even level 3, they become really powerful. Yeah, so of course knights will be still stronger, but even swordsmen are really good, and I wasn't really sure if he still wants to maybe push me with some swordsman himself. Then I would need my swordsman to defend my fort and my barracks, because he will walk up to the on top of my building, start destroying it from the top, and then I need my own swordsman and also, for example, the bows with my peasants to kill the enemies there, because knights cannot enter buildings, so I cannot really protect them effectively unless I catch the opponent on an open field. Now we have to deal with the skeleton harassment. Shouldn't be too big of a problem. Our opponent is actually trying to kill the bandits on this outpost, which is a really strong defensive position, especially in this matchup when the spawns are like this, because it's between us and it's on his side of the map. So a really effective defensive position. Unfortunately, the position where I spawned doesn't have any outposts. Yeah, this one has this one in the middle, and the position down there is basically 3 outposts, so that's really powerful. This one could be potentially also used by the top player, but I mean, I can also use this one. It's just really hard to get. Even this one, yeah, it's really close to this player. So overall, the bottom position has the strongest defense, but at the same time, the most entrances. I think this position is like strongest overall. You have lots of close expansions. The outposts here, narrow entrances. The only disadvantage is that enemies can harass you right here on the mines with cannons. Yeah, so that's the only disadvantage there. We are quickly trying to kill as many wolves as possible with the knights to get some early levels and also resources. I already have 5 knights. 6th one is just being produced. We are also making some new farms because we are struggling a little bit with food. He's on 490, while I have only 300, yeah, so he has like almost 200 food more in units. That's a huge advantage. Of course, he also has more peasants because he wasn't upgrading the town hall, so I lost lots of uptime there on the production. I was also going for the bows upgrade, so bows upgrade also costed me lots of time, and at the same time I wasn't probably producing all the time anyways because I didn't have too many resources. Yeah, so he probably has like 50% more peasants, maybe even more. Definitely way stronger economy right now. He also has a decent defense here with barricades. He also already took the outpost, defended himself quite well, and now he already has 2 cannons, making 3rd one, so preparing some early strong defense. He could also get the artillery ability and prepare for some nice push. I wasn't really sure what he was going to do, so I just placed 1 swordsman down here for some scouting, and yeah, we can see him actually preparing barricades here as well. So he's just completely closing himself up from both sides. As I said, this is the advantage of the position, that we have 2 narrow entrances, this mountain pass and this bridge, and outside of that there is no way to get into this base. Even if you get through some trees, there are mountains everywhere, so literally no way to get there in any other way. So once he closes this with barricades, I can't get there with archers, with cannons only, with artillery mode, and that means I only can destroy it with melee units, and he will always see those. So he just closed it. He prepared some cannons at home and archers, just lots of ranged units for defense, and now he's going for macro approach with expansions. For now making just 1, maybe he will expand with more bases at once, we'll see. Here I found the barricades, so I just destroyed them with my knights. No reason to really not do this, even though I didn't necessarily want to push him. I wanted to definitely make sure that he doesn't expand before me. So I checked this expansion, he was not there, and then I immediately went to scout this position, and fortunately I found his base and he had to cancel it. So definitely really good for me. We stopped this expansion. He didn't really want to commit his units to defending this, so he stayed at home. Probably a wise decision on open field. On open field I would definitely kill him, because I had some really nice cells on these knights, even some potions somewhere. Of course, if he would be in his base and he could be using the buildings, then he would easily repel it, but on open field I would have higher chance. I also checked this expansion just to be sure, but he didn't even conquer this yet. The last position where he could potentially be is somewhere down here, but that was really improbable. Yeah. It was much more likely for him to expand on one of these positions, And since he was already here, I was pretty convinced that he won't have another expansion, but just to make sure, I also checked this one. So we are still spamming knights just from the one barracks. Now another problem with this position, it's really hard to gather wood here. I could set up a lumber mill here, but if I want to just bring it to the fort, all the forests are pretty far away, and you also have the farms in your way, so we really need to get somewhere else. That is why I immediately took my knights. I knew that I stopped his expansion, so he will probably hesitate a little bit if I'm going to push him or not. So I was expecting him to take it a while for him to actually try to expand again. So I immediately went for my expansion and tried to expand first to get some slight economical advantage. Even though, as I said in the beginning, he probably has a little bit stronger economy in this one base. As you can see now, I have only 4 peasants on gold, while he has maybe like 20. But yeah, I tried to diversify them a little bit more. I probably have more peasants on wood. Now I also brought lots of them to this expansion, and I also killed probably more neutral enemies already, so I should have more resources from that. He's on 650 wood, food, and I'm on 500, so he's still like 150 ahead. In terms of wood, he has 600 more, gold pretty much balanced, both of us around 400. So now I decided to finally clear all the goblin camps. I usually start with the melee camps, yeah, mainly wolves, because bandits are hard to kill with knights. They usually escape to the outpost quickly, but if you are fast, as you can see, you can still kill some bandits. But I try to avoid the goblins in the beginning with knights because they are kiting you, it's annoying. They are also targeting the knights one by one usually, so not the easiest thing to kill. You need to usually retreat with a knight if they start shooting level 1 knights. If it's a level 2 or 3, he will usually survive it pretty easily, but level 1 knights usually die if you don't have too many of them to kill the goblins quickly enough. But with such an army that I have now, it's really easy to clear the goblins, so I went for it. My opponent still not going for the expansions. He's going for another barracks, and he also made stables, so it looks like he actually, he started producing cavalry now, and he wants to go a little bit of a mirror strategy while also having the advantage of cannons and archers. This is really strong. I can't even destroy this building. With archers it's almost undestroyable. I would need lots of them. It take from multiple sides, so either I use my cannons with the artillery ability to destroy this, or I have to bring swordsmen with shields. Otherwise I can't really get through this. Here he also has a really strong defensive position, so my only option would be to run here and then probably this way and try to attack from the bottom, but there are another 2 cannons, so maybe from the top actually would be the best option, and on his villagers, but really hard to push, as I said. This is a really strong position and has a really strong defense. I placed 1 knight here just to make sure that he doesn't get to my half of the map, even though I started on the same half of the map as he did, if we take the river as something that is dividing the map into 2 halves, even though it's a little bit more on the top. But still, I wanted to make sure he's not on the bottom side of the map, so I can freely clear everything. Then I have another scout up here, which is a swordsman from the beginning that I used for scouting. I already have some other swordsmen at home that I created before, but here I actually wanted to keep the knight so he can survive during the night on his own, and also so he's quick, so I can reposition him if I need to. But now I just really know that he's locked in this position. I was expecting him to already have like 3 bases, because if he's locked here and he's playing defensively, it just makes sense for him to create bases. But after I destroy his expansion, he seems pretty scared, and he's actually going for a really passive approach. But at least he's pumping all the resources into units, so he probably has much stronger army. I'm on 750 food, he's on 830, so like 80 more. The difference is definitely closing, so he doesn't have such a big of an advantage as he had in the beginning. But I'm slowly starting to get ahead, because now I have the expansion here. I'm preparing another one actually down here, because I thought that that's like the furthest expansion from his starting point, so even though it's also far away from me, so it will be hard to defend. If he actually pushes here, I was pretty confident that he's not going to find this. Even if he kills this knight and he charges to this side of the map, he'll probably scout like these expansions, maybe this one, but this is really far away, so I was kinda sure that he was not going to get there. And since I saw that he's playing like super passively, I haven't even saw any scouts near these positions where I had my scouts. I just decided to go for another expansion, so now making 4 bases at the same time, and looks like I will have 4 bases before he even makes his first expansion, so that should be a crazy advantage in terms of resources for me that we should be able to capitalize on, and then hopefully just win this on macro, or at least that was my strategy. As you can see, it probably didn't go too according to plan, since the game stretched for almost 1.5 hours, but we will see what happens next. Right now I'm struggling with food a little bit, but we have lots of food in stock, so here I actually finished some farms just now. Once again, immediately dropped into minus once we have so many production buildings, especially when we are spamming peasants in four town halls. I'm actually not producing in these 2 yet. It just starts filling up the population really quickly. Funny thing is that I actually made second barracks, but still only 2 production buildings with so many bases. It's not ideal. I'm really playing quite risky now. If we went all in, it wouldn't be probably GG, because I still have really high income, and I should be able to produce something that would stop it, but I would probably lose maybe 1 base, maybe my army. I would need to definitely be careful. The thing is that I couldn't push him from the other side or something, because I exactly knew where he was, so probably wouldn't be the best strategy to push 1 base against 4 for him. But yeah, I was definitely not investing into military too much right now. I just spread my units around the map a little bit for some defense, you know, actually setting up a sawmill. First of all, I want to gather these trees effectively for some wood, and second of all, I want to unlock barricades, which you actually cannot build without the sawmill. So I definitely wanted that, to close it here and here, as he did before. Actually, this one still stayed here. Down here I have 2 knights, nice levels, 3 and 2, so that's really good. We are gathering only gold for now here, but the wood here is also really effective. The main point was just to get away from this location of wood gathering, so we started here. That is already kinda harvested, so now we will be slowly moving to other locations like this one. He finally made his first expansion. Now he's kinda checking the other expansions with his knights, but he's still not really taking them, so looks like he will be staying on 2 bases for quite a while now. I'm on 1100 food, he's on 1000, yeah, so I'm already ahead now. During this night we gained like 100 lead, and now I'm going for 4 extra farms, each of them with just 1 peasant, because now I was starting to figure out that we are slowly getting to the point where we need to actually make our food gathering a little bit more effective by spreading the peasants to gather solo and not in groups of 2 or even 3. But obviously that costs lots of resources. I think now I reached the worker cap, so we won't be really getting much more resources in terms of the speed at which we are gathering it. Finally I go for the castle upgrade, for which I needed to build a smithy here in the back, and we are constantly producing knights in our barracks, if I don't forget to do that. But yeah, 3000 gold, looks really good. 600 wood, he's on similar wood, a little bit more, but almost no gold. He's over gathering here with the peasants, like a lot. I don't even know why he's not gathering here right now. Probably wanted to keep it for later, but it doesn't seem too effective. He could really easily at this point have all the bases. Not sure what he was doing. You can see that my macro is now basically double of his. But now he decided to go for a push with his knights here. So I can see that he's killing my scout, but not really easy to escape from that. So he killed him, 105 gold for him. And now he's going for a rush into this side of the map. I actually didn't clear these wolves for some reason. Even though I think I was killing them before, probably just forgot like one of them in between the trees. And of course during the whole game where this was left here, they just respawned from the wolf dance. So looks like this will be some extra free kills for him, some extra experience and resources, but I'm immediately bringing my army of knights here. Now I just need to figure out if he will go this way or in the back. So first we started here. I think I will continue. Yeah, this will be actually a really nice moment, because this is my main army of knights. I have some more knights here. Yeah, if we decided to push here, I also finally set up the barricades. But this is my main army of knights. I think it's 20 knights with really good levels. and I managed to catch him here in this bind, and he actually tried to go this way, but probably didn't know the map too well, so that maybe he can escape somewhere, but there is no way, or he wanted to get into the bigger open field here, but yeah, yes, level 1 knights wasn't really getting any kills on his part of the map, and I have this elite army of knights now, maybe even already with the heal. We have church, I don't know if I already researched the heal, but probably yes. If I didn't have the volume so low, I would maybe hear some heals, but I'm still keeping some low knights here, so maybe I don't have it yet. Not sure, but I don't think we lost any units, yeah. And he lost basically his whole knight army, so that was really effective. Here we can see he set up some double barricades. He really wants me to force to go this way into his cannons, which is kinda smart. Yeah, my lumber mill was kinda nice idea, but now we already harvested the trees here as well, so you need to really rebuild your gather points for wood all the time. Also, gold deposit is running close, so we'll need to move out of here pretty soon, but I don't have too many peasants here remaining anyways. I used most of them to set up these farms, so that's the situation with this. He's still sitting only on 2 bases. Here I actually decided to take 3 of my peasants and bring them here. First of all, I wanted to set up the same barricade as I did here. I wanted to have it also on the other side of the map, and then I also wanted to build some extra barracks around the map to have some defensive positions and also some more production buildings. We also made one more barracks here in the back on this expansion that is really separated from my main base, but also another barracks on this base and another one here. Yeah, so each of my expansions has 1 barracks now, except the main base where I have 2, and also the castle has a strong defensive position. And now we are going for another base in this location, where I will take these peasants later, and maybe some extra peasants from the other bases, or maybe even from farms where we have more than 1 peasant, so it's not effective. I also made some swordsmen just to destroy the outposts and capture them. They will be giving me some really strong vision, and also I can use it for defensive archers if I want to later, or even with cannons. And here I made lots of barricades and placed barracks behind it. And he doesn't have any scouts here, so he doesn't see this. He's finally going for a 3rd base, making it only with 4 peasants, but he waited such a long time that this won't really influence any timing anymore. He has some extra cannons here now, also lots of knights, but as I'm saying, he doesn't have any kills. He already cleared everything he could here, and now he cannot get any more kills for his units to level them up, so this is really difficult for him. Actually, I think I already cleared all the neutrals on the map except this outpost right now, so even if he was on this part of the map, he couldn't get any more kills unless he actually attacks my army. Here he set up 4 cannons. Kinda lucky for me that I was just out of this range to not lose the swordsman immediately, but he probably didn't have vision there anyways. Right now I'm just trying to spread around the map a little bit, capture the outposts. I'm just gaining control. If you just take a look on the colors, you can see that he has 1/4 of the map, and I have the remaining 3 parts of the map. Yeah, so huge map control from me. I'm trying to set up multiple layers of barricades on the map, and always behind the barricades place the barracks for some extra defense, while taking as many bases as we can, even if I'm not gathering there too effectively. Yeah, this is totally useless. I could take these 4 peasants and send them here, or even take all 6 of them and send them here or here, and I would have basically the same efficiency of the income. Yeah, the speed would be the same. The thing is that once I run out of gold here, I want to immediately have another place where I can send my peasants without the need of building any additional buildings. So I want to have it prepared. Also, at the same time, if I lose something, some peasants, I want to have as many main buildings so I can reproduce the peasants as quickly as possible. And also, I want to just take it for map control. Yeah, take as many bases, so I have them under my control, and he can't build his base there. Yeah, because if I have a base there, I know he can have his one there. If I have just a scout there, maybe I won't see him die, then he can take it. It will take me another 5 minutes before I realize that he made a base here, and he can be gathering resources there. So the sooner you can capture the bases for yourself, even if you are not effectively gathering there, the better for you. Here I also made double barricades. I have some units here, so I'll probably go defend it later. Another disadvantage of this position is this river. which is splitting the trees. Yeah, it's actually quite big area. There could be a lot of wood, but the problem is that you can't even really build here because of this river. The trees are in really weird shapes, and it's almost impossible unless you cut out all these trees to have full vision of this area, which means there will be constantly spawning skeletons. And for now it's not that big of a problem. It's still kind of early in the game, so not as many skeletons. I have some units here, but later in the game this will be a huge problem, and they will actually eventually just destroy all my farms because I just won't have enough units to actually defend it. Another weak spot is here. I tried to somehow cover it with this farm, but once I get a little bit more trees and the peasants are constantly going away, I think this will also get revealed, and this is edge of the map, so also kinda difficult. Another spawn is here. Also from here they can be coming. In the middle I see another shade, so lots of shadows where they can be spawning, and it becomes quite difficult. Even here actually they spawned in the corner. And once we have so many bases and you need to defend at so many different places, it's just really difficult. Yeah, it's just really difficult to keep an eye on everything and kill every single skeleton before he can take any of your peasants out. Fortunately, yeah, he doesn't probably have any serious problems with skeletons, but fortunately I have so many production buildings for peasants that if I lose something, it just takes few seconds and I have everything back immediately. And kills from skeletons are not giving any resources to my enemies, so I don't care about this too much if it's just a peasant. Of course, if I would lose a leveled up unit, that would be a little bit worse, but those are usually strong enough to not just randomly die somewhere. But as you can see, there can be huge bunches of these skeletons, and even if I have some archers for defense on towers, it's just definitely not enough to deal with this. This is something I tried to do, set up some archers even in these positions, where I'm not protecting any of my peasants, but at least some crucial choke points. I tried to set up some defense with archers as well there. So now he's on 3 bases. Once again, still a really strong defense. The barricades are not too effective anymore since he destroyed the trees here, but still some defense. He mainly has the cannons here in the front. Yeah, here he removed it from the outpost, so he's not one-shotting his own units during the night. But yeah, he's still losing some peasants as well. Because that, yeah, he actually drained this immediately, so now he's just on 1 base effectively. He has this, but he is gathering just with 1 peasant, and as you can see, it's not too effective because of these 2 farmhouses. I would maybe destroy this one since you have another one here. But overall, he's really just living on 1 base. If we take a look on the food, I'm on 1850. He's on 1730. So I have only like 120 more food. And he also has still lots of resources. I have way more, but he still has lots of resources as well. And he's really just gathering in 1 base, while I have like 5 of them. Or this one is drained, so 4 bases where I'm gathering gold. He has 1, and I have only 100 more food. Yeah, so this is really crazy. I'm still not really understanding how he could be actually making so many units when I have so much more resources in this game, but yeah, you will see it in the results in the end. It's just totally crazy. I totally don't understand this, but somehow he just managed to create basically the same amount of units. I'm spending all resources on knights, of course, or most of the game. I made some swordsmen, archers, yeah, but mostly knights. He's diversifying it a little bit more between the archers here, but he's also making knights and also cannons, which are even more expensive, so I don't think this is a strong argument. The thing is that he's just somehow getting resources. I don't know, I should also have more skeletons. I have way better map control, so really weird, but somehow he's still it's still working for him like this. He didn't even take the bases, even if he wouldn't be gathering there yet. He's just taking the base at the time when the base before is just completely drained, which is kinda interesting strategy. But as you can see, he's playing completely turtle, full defense mode, no offense at all. He has some knights here prepared, but he will be probably mainly using these for defense anyways. He actually decided to bring some extra knights here in the back, just a full unit of, or full group of 20 knights. I still have the archers here, but some knights are still good as well. We can use them for extra defense if he decides to run through here, or I can also push him from this side. He has the cannons here, but outside of that, not too strong of a defense. He can run on his peasants, would be quite good. Here I was trying to prepare some extra knights. He still don't know about these cannons since the scout is revealing area only here, yeah, so right in front of him.
Job's done.
And slowly the bases are running out on this map. There is only these 4 remaining, and then the one in his base. And of course the ones that we are already gathering from, but those will also run out pretty quickly. This one is kind of full, yeah, but this is also like 4.5 drained. Maybe this is like half drained. It's almost empty already. I will also need to start at least rediversifying my peasants pretty soon. If we take a look on the levels, yeah, just mostly level 1s, some level 2s from the night, but overall not too good. I have level 3s here with double potions, so that's really strong on my end. Down here I sent some level 1s, some level 2s, no potions for now. Here I wanted to just run into him because I was pretty confident I have enough units for it, but he had so many cannons here that he actually one-shotted his own cannons, but the problem was that this was just too much, yeah. I even sent just 1 group there, I think, or maybe 2 groups. It was probably 30 knights, something like that, 1.5 group. But he just totally destroyed me. I killed maybe few units, most kills were probably from his own cannons, and I lost probably like 20 knights there. So now I found out that this won't be too easy. I also saw his knights there, so I just knew that he has extremely strong defense. And even though I tried to push there, it just made no difference. Now I may be even behind on food. 1900, he's on 1900 as well, so same food right now. He actually has more gold, I have a little bit more wood. Now he decided to push here. Unfortunately he one-shotted with his cannons all of my archers, so I just went knights against knights, but he still has the cannons there, so not ideal. Basically shooting both of us, but he had more knights there, yeah, so that wasn't ideal. But the idea was to lurk him out here, which we managed to do. We pushed all of his knights to this side, also lots of cannons there, and now I wanted to push him here again with once again huge army of like 30 knights with potions, with heals and everything. So we pushed in, we killed some cannons in the front, now killed some peasants. Unfortunately he immediately came here with his archers, who are not on the other side of the map, and now he's retreating there with his knights as well, who are basically pretty quick, pretty fast, so he will get here in time anyways. And I didn't really achieve much, even though I'm using the heals, I have the potions. All I really achieved is those peasant skills. We destroyed 1 tower, killed few cannons, but outside of that we just lost way more value on this than we actually gained. He's on 0 resources, so I think he was constantly, yeah, he just spammed knights fully in all of his barracks to quickly reproduce all of the units. But as you can see, actually has only 2 barracks. Actually, sorry, 3 barracks. He has 1 more here, so 3 barracks and 1 smithy, which is not too many production buildings. Yeah, now I don't have any more defense here, so he'll destroy the cannons, but we actually managed to kill most of the cannons here, so kinda decent push with the knights. I think that was maybe even worth it. I don't know how many knights I killed, but at least I killed the cannons. But somehow he's living on 3 barracks. I have, yeah, actually let's check the food one more time, 1600, I have 1500, so now he's actually ahead. But yeah, I have 1 barracks here, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we had 9th here, so 9 barracks for me, now 8. He's only on 3, so we should have way better production of units. We both have 1 smithy, so that is the same. So I should be able to recover from this much quicker if I have the resources, and I should definitely have way better income. Right now he's living on basically 0 income. He just needs to reproduce somehow the peasants for this base, and he has no gold, so that will take him forever. Here I saw his knights thanks to this outpost, so once again really important to have the map control. We lost this front base, but we still have the scouts here, and if he comes this way then I have another layer of defense here, so it's extremely difficult for him to push anything. It would be nice to also have this kind of defense that I have here and also have in the front, to also have it down here somewhere, either right next to the outpost or a little bit more in the back, maybe all the way here, whatever, but something this way. I have only vision here, but he could actually potentially push through here on my bases, so that's a little bit risky, but if I can hold it here in the choke point behind the bridge, then it's really good. So I ran into him with my knights. It's only level 1 knights with no, or maybe some level 2, but mostly level 1s with no potions, so he could probably fight me there, but he was kinda scared. Unfortunately, he managed to block 3 of my knights in the middle of the bridge with his knights, I think with hold position, so that was really well played from him. 3 extra kills, 100 and 225 gold for him, so really good. Now we have to once again deal with the neutral enemies. As you can see, I have abandoned my farms and just sent the peasants to gold because I needed resources and I just don't need as much food anymore since we lost so many units. Here I send one swordsman here in the back to scout it. Unfortunately, there are other areas. As I said, the shape of these forests are just extremely weird, so it's really difficult to actually see all the curvages here. So we can get there, but that just means we have to kill the skeletons. Of course, one might want to really do it. I need to send some extra units there. Here we are trying to protect our barricades, also scare away his army. He also needs to defend against the skeletons now. But he has such a small part of the map under his control that he could really easily cover it whole with vision. On the other hand, it would be actually quite bad for him because then always skeletons would be spawning on my side, and even though I would have a little bit harder defense, it would be still way more kills for me from the neutrals and resources. He needs the undeads there to actually farm them for resources, but he could definitely concentrate it on one place, so he doesn't have to run around like this, which is not possible for me when I'm spread around the map like so much. But when he has such a small place, he could really easily cover these small corners with extra farms or barracks, whatever, and then just concentrate on one spot where he would be farming them. Now he decided to go for the town hall finally. This is running out slowly, so he will have to soon use his last base. He still has the main income here that he's constantly gathering only with one peasant, but he doesn't seem to worry about this too much. If we take a look on the food, he's on 1800, same as me. I have double gold, like 7 times more food. Sorry, not food, wood. But yeah, that's another problem. He could run out of wood on this place, but there is a big forest here and some more trees down here, so shouldn't be a problem for him. Position has quite lots of food actually. He went with archers to actually kill my swordsman and capture an outpost for himself, for which he will need some swordsman, so expecting him to produce that. I don't think he made any swordsman yet. Actually, there is one, yeah, so that's probably the one he wanted to use for the outpost. He just needs to reposition him. Actually, now he's making more swordsmen, so I'm not sure what's the plan exactly. But he's definitely trying to gain some control of the map as well. So he will take the outpost. He has one night scout here, and now he's checking this expansion as well, so the only one he didn't see is this one. Now he found my defense, immediately barricades, archers behind this, so I don't think he will really want to push into this, so he's just turning around, and I have knights here prepared, so shouldn't be a problem. If we go this way, I should be able to catch them. If not, I can just retreat to this position and fight him here. As you can see, I also set up another expansion. We were running out of gold on most bases, so I wanted to just take another income for myself. And I was kind of worried actually, because as I said, he's gaining control of the map as well, and he could really easily take these 2 bases and start gaining some really strong income again, maybe even this one. And it would be really bad for me, but fortunately he probably wouldn't be able to set up a really strong defense here quickly enough, but also keeping some defense here, so I was kind of counting on that he won't really be able to hold this soon, and it just gave me some time, yeah, so I wasn't like too worried about it, even though he definitely could have taken this one, and I wouldn't know it for a really long time. Here we are also going for the upgrade, not like I would really need a fort. I already have castle in my main base, but just for the defensive position I could have made barracks next to it, would be probably better, but this is an option. I did the same thing here, and actually I decided to upgrade all of my main buildings to have more defensive positions, which is probably okay. Not really worth it to go for castle, I think, but not too big of a resource investment. Now I finally decided to go for cannons. I think I already have the artillery ability and charge, shields, yeah, whatever, just all upgrades in the game. And I'm accumulating cannons now, so probably like 30 cannons, plus of course the whole army of my knights. And I want to push him again from the top. As you can see, he's actually starving a little bit. He's on 2100 food, but his income is only around 1900, so he's struggling a lot. 150 in minus, which will damage his cannons slowly, and he cannot heal those, so that will be kind of difficult. Here I went for a push with my knights. I have 200 more food, so should be quite good. This is still level 1 army, He has some level 3 riders there, so he should have definitely fought me here. Not sure why he retreated, but no problem for me. If he would attack me, I would probably just retreat to the archers and there we should be safe. And now he finally brought the swordsman, actually level 3 swordsman, a really buffed guy. So he's capturing the outpost here. I can't really do much with it. I can ride here with my knights, but I cannot do anything with the swordsman on the outpost. Even though when I'm staying close, it shouldn't be capturing, but I cannot really eliminate the swordsman, so that's kinda sad. He still has one scout here in the back, so good for him, I guess. Yeah, he was standing too far away, so he actually took it. We can see he started gathering in the last base, plus like 1500 here. Still some resources available, but I'm already accumulating my army. So once again, like 30 knights, probably over 20 swordsmen, and maybe like 25 cannons. Actually, this is probably 20 cannons, and I have some extra cannons in the back, together with some archers and actually even a knight. Resources is still decent. Here I just tried to scout a little bit. I saw lots of cannons. Unfortunately, we lost like 10 knights there immediately. Hard to actually micro-control this army. So I was really struggling with repositioning this, and we actually lost all the units to the cannons before I was able to actually do anything. So huge misplay from me, but I'm still using my cannons to somehow force him back. I also send the swordsman there with the shields, hoping to somehow hold this, but combination of cannons and knights is just such a broken thing, especially in defense. So now we just really have to rely on our artillery mode. Here in the back he's also sieging me a little bit. My knights who are standing there, but at least I'm keeping him alerted, so he has to stay here with some defense units as well. So it's really good. Here we are just sieging him with the cannons. No reason for me to rush there with the knights anymore, and I don't even have any, to be honest, remaining. Most of them died. Swordsmen I just sent them there. They are not too important. Here I set up my cannons. Just one line, all remaining ones retreat to the back so we don't kill our own cannons. I lost one here, but overall pretty okay. We started repairing, but I have so many shots that even though I don't see here now, I'm just shooting there blindly, and we should be able to destroy it or at least drain his resources from the repairs. And now he's on around 6,000 gold. I'm like 5,000, but I'm constantly producing, as you can see. I definitely have way more wood. Not sure why he's not really gathering any wood. That's a huge misplay, because it's a resource he's struggling with a lot and he's just not getting any. He's on 2100, I'm on 2200 food, so a little bit ahead. And now I was kinda confident that I'm gonna finally push him. I just went kinda all in, but now as you can see he just has stronger knights, he has way more of them, and he has another army that I didn't even know about at the time. And he also has lots of archers, all of them level 3, some swordsmen. Seems like he doesn't even maybe have the shield ability, but overall he just totally crashed me, killed all the knights. I'm trying to bring some extra forces, but it's just not enough. We also lost all the cannons that I was using here to somehow siege him down. I will do some extra shots, but when he has the level 3 archers, then even if you actually aim it properly and to hit the enemy, he will just walk away with half HP. Then he also has potion, and you just don't really achieve anything with the artillery ability mode anymore in those bigger fights. It's good for sieging down buildings, but in a fight like this, even when I'm actually aiming it properly and hitting the enemy, the artillery mode is just not doing much. The siege mode is a little bit better, but once he gets into the mid-range like this, you are totally useless. So now he destroyed my whole army. He's on, actually I'm on 1800 food, he's on like 100 more, okay, so he's a little bit more. I have one knight army. He actually retreated with this one, so now he's going kinda all in on this side. But the thing is that I still have some more cannons in the back that I positioned on my castle and barracks. We have double barricades here. I still have some knights here, all the swordsmen with shields, and also some archers. So really strong defense, nonetheless, even though we lost so many units. But those are all level 2 or 3 knights, so I think he might be able to actually get through this somehow and maybe push on my villagers. But yeah, I probably wouldn't also push into cannons like this just with knights, even though I did it before. Now I wouldn't do it. And also this is much harder, because this is really narrow. If I hold position with these knights, it will be really hard for him to push it. He also doesn't have any potions. my push had way more chance of succeeding thanks to the open field that was here available. That is why I'm also pushing here, because it's just wider. Instead of pushing on the bridge where he has a weaker defense, you can't fit so many buildings in here, and he just doesn't have any units now here, but it's really hard to actually get through it. If you just close it here, it's really difficult because of the narrow entrance. So now some skeletons are coming, I'm losing some knights, I'm focusing on other things, trying to save it here, but then they come from another entrance, so yeah, once again, really difficult. And we are kinda running out of bases, as you can see. Even though I had such a big macro advantage, we already drained 1, 2, 3, 4 bases, and he drained only 3. So I definitely gathered more resources, and now I'm gathering from 2 incomes, while he's gathering only from 1, and I'm not counting really this one here. Yeah, so I should have way more resources, but he's still somehow holding. Yeah, he's on basically same foot as me. He even has double gold in stock, so I really don't get it where he's getting the resources. Maybe he's getting some extra neutral kills now, but yeah, in the results I still had way more neutral kills, so I don't know where he's getting the resources, but somehow he's still keeping up. Here he tried to push me really nicely with the level 3 knights, even with some potions I saw there. I don't have any potions, still only level 1 cavalry, but I had the archers there which scared him away. He also had to get through the barricades first, and overall barricades are just dangerous. He knew that there is an outpost behind it, and he of course couldn't know if I have maybe cannons there or more archers, so he just rather decided to retreat. Probably kinda okay move. He doesn't know about this expansion, where I have only few archers, so we could easily push this with the knights, but that's at least really good for me. Even though he has scouts here, he still haven't even attempted to capture these bases, so that's also really good for me. Unfortunately, here I started losing. Yeah, this is where I abandoned the farms. I abandoned them basically everywhere, even though now I started taking some of them again, but here I abandoned them, and because of that I lost the vision of the corner, and then skeletons actually spawned here and destroyed the farmhouses, which deleted my farms, so that was not ideal. I definitely don't abandon farms that are in strategic positions for your night vision. That's always important to keep there. But yeah, seems like he also leveled his knights quite nicely during this night. Hopefully I did that as well. We can see church from him, so I don't know if he had the heals before, but now he definitely already has them, unless he has church and 11,000 gold and he didn't click on the cure upgrade. He tried another small push here, but it's really insane. Yeah, he has 12,000 gold, I have 5,000, and we have the same food, and I have so many more bases. Yeah, just totally crazy. And he will run out of this income soon as well. Okay, he's constantly poking here with the knights, so not really achieving anything. I'm getting some free shots on the archers who are already level 3 anyway, so no value for me too. He's just healing it back with his heals, yeah, so not much happening. He doesn't want to push this, even though he probably could, but I would have time for sending more units, then it would be holdable for me probably. But if he also took the archers here, maybe some cannons if he has, then it could work really different. Yeah, you can see he has lots of cannons here, even some swordsmen, some extra knights on level 3 as well. So he definitely has a really strong army. I'm preparing another push on this side now. Once again, knights and cannons. Knights as the strongest fighting force on the open field, and cannons for sieging down the enemy defense. You can also include some swordsmen for defense against the ranged units, with the shields, but they won't be doing too much damage, so it's rather just to tank some damage for the knights. And you can also add archers, but not when I'm attacking from such a narrow entrance. Yeah, I will need a huge open field for that. Now he retreated with all the units, which is a bit of a problem, because I have half of my army somewhere else, or maybe even more than half, so even though I had like few swordsmen here, some decent amount of knights, and some cannons, it was totally not enough. Yeah, now just splashed everything down with the siege mode, and I have like different groups of cannons, which is kinda good, but as I said, in these big fights the cannons are totally useless, even against archers on good levels. If he has level 3 knights there with 320 HP, then the cannon will really do just absolutely nothing. Fortunately, I use the strategy of split push again, so we are taking our 20 knights from the bottom. I quickly bought potions for them, or at least some of them, and we ran into his economy and killed some peasants here quickly. So that was a really good push. We are immediately taking our knights back. Maybe we lost like one unit there, but overall I should be able to save most of them. Also with the heal ability I really managed to block one of my knights, but maybe he'll block one more, not sure. Probably not even, yeah, so really good. Actually he managed to block him. Not the best pathfinding, but we managed to escape from there. So we lost probably one knight, killed like, I don't know how many peasants, but I think this was definitely a worth it trade. The fight on the left side, not that much. Actually attacking the swordsmen now, not too sure why, because they are totally useless against this. And I finally decided to go for another base here. Unfortunately he has the scout here, so even though I have a stronger knight that I'm bringing with my base, I think he probably saw this. Actually we can check that. Yeah, he saw it, as you can see, so now he knows that I'm making expansion here. And even though this knight can't do much about it, maybe this swordsman could, but I think this is level 2 knight, so that would probably win the knight, but I'm not sure about the fight between a level 3 swordsman and level 1 knight. That might be quite interesting. I think the knight will be still stronger. But yeah, together with the knight he had there as well, he could definitely kill my knight here, but he mainly needs to bring some units and finish this expansion. Maybe some small fights were happening here, but mostly probably just cannons. He was trying to siege me down from this location, while I'm preparing my own cannons right here. Now he scouted me with the knights he has here. He started shooting on me, actually quite nicely hitting some cannons in the front. Unfortunately for him I have way more cannons, so really easy for me. Here our fighting seems kinda balanced. We have knights on the same position, similar amount. I have maybe even a little bit more, but he has the archers there and he mainly has good levels on the knights. All of them level 3 with potions. I have only level 1, so this is really difficult for me. I'm definitely losing this fight and I need to start retreating as quickly as possible, especially once I run out of heals. Now I try to set up my cannons once again, move the ones in the back away so they don't kill the ones in the front, and then use the artillery ability with them. Now it's looking really bad, but as I said, I still have really strong defense here. I quickly can position my cannons on top of the buildings, even set up some more with the siege mode in the front. We still have the archers there and we are constantly producing new knights, so even though he kinda tried to push me here, he even got into my economy. I'm just dealing so much damage into him. The swordsmen and archers definitely cannot come here, especially when he doesn't even have the shields and the archers are totally vulnerable. And the knights somehow got here, but I think he made a mistake. He tried to go for the castle, which would be good if he could take it down, because I would need to make it somewhere else again, even though I don't really need it, but I would probably want to. But I have forts everywhere anyway, so it wouldn't be that big of a problem, and I was immediately repairing it with my peasants, so he was just wasting time here. If he killed some peasants it would be a better value, but since I have so many bases I would also reproduce them really quickly, so wouldn't change much. Here I took my second army, once again going into his base. I thought that he really doesn't have anything more now, that he went all in on that push. Unfortunately this was his strongest army, so he sacrificed his leveled up knights, but he still had a really strong army in the back as well. But at least we farmed some extra peasants here, maybe got some kills there on the units, probably not too many. I don't think this was a worth it push. We probably lost more value of resources in units than he did. At least here we managed to somehow survive. I maintained the castle. We just need to start getting food again, but we are actually quite nicely established on food, so that's pretty much fine. 1700 or almost 1800 in food. He's on 21, so he's actually like 400 food ahead. He still has 10,000 gold, no wood, but I have zero gold, yeah, so he has 10,000 more gold and more food somehow. Even though I have whole map control now, making even a base here, even though he will stop this soon I think, but now I literally took every single expansion on the map except this one, while he took only the expansion in this small territory, which is 4 bases. Now he's not even gathering here anymore, so he has 0 income right now. He's gathering resources only from kills. but somehow it's still working for him, and he's sitting on 2200 food, while I have only above 1700. He still has this outpost here, so he sees this cavalry. I don't think he should see this expansion, yeah, that's out of range, but he sees the peasants here, so he knows about this base, so most likely wants to stop at least that. Now he sent 2 knights here, so even though I had level 2 there, it won't be enough to sustain this, but here I'm pushing with my army again, and even though these are only level 1 and 2 cavaliers with no potions, mostly, some of them yes, but mostly not, I still managed to actually maintain them for a long time, as you will see, because I was using my heals really effectively. It's not like he wouldn't been using them effectively, but I think I was using them more effectively, and of course once you fight for a while you will level up the knights anyways, so I'm taking some levels, so they will be even stronger, and even though he maybe had even more knights there, I was also getting pushed from the back by the skeletons. I somehow managed to push him back. I lost few units, but mostly managed to save them, leveled most of them to level 2. I'm constantly creating some new ones from the back, so I'm keeping a nice army of knights here, not necessarily 20, but definitely around 15 at least, and it's being pretty effective. Here are unfortunately the skeletons that are harassing me a little bit. I don't have any more defense there. Here I try to at least protect it with these archers from here, while keeping the second half to protect these farms. I still need to protect all these entrances, yeah, here in the back, so I just need to be spread across the whole map. Yeah, there's like 20 skeletons maybe now pushing here. There is also a decent bunch, some more here, yeah, so it's really difficult, but as you can see, he's also getting pressured by lots of skeletons. He's even leveling up his swordsman here, which is really good for him. So yeah, I think he's farming definitely lots of resources from these knight pushes. He's now on almost 2400 food. I'm still below 1900 and almost no resources, but now I spent lots of resources, so I think I'll be producing. Yeah, some knights, but still not too many units actually. And now he actually rushed on my base, so this is a big problem. Also there are lots of skeletons, at least I scouted his peasants, but I'm not even sure if I will actually attack them. I just kinda lost track of them in between the skeletons, and I mainly wanted to save my own base, yeah. So, but at least I rushed here with some extra knights from this side, also attacking from the back, so even though he killed most peasants there, I still managed to somehow push him away. Here the peasants ran into the skeletons that I ignored, so that's actually really good. The skeletons will help me there and stop the expansion, otherwise the enemy will probably already establish a base here. Now he also found that I have another expansion in this location, so now he knows that there are 2 bases, he kinda needs to push them, so he actually brought his archers from his home, because as I said, he's gaining map control, so he's trying to move his defense a little bit more in the front. There is lots of skeletons in the opponent's base. I was trying to show that. Yeah, this is crazy. Even the swordsmen are not able to deal with that. You would really need knights. And here I'm in decent fight, but he also has really good levels now. I was running out of mana since I was healing a lot, and even though I would maybe kill his knights somehow, these archers are just too strong. Yeah, they are all level 3 and I cannot reach them. So even though I pushed the enemy away, now he's coming with second army of knights, and plus there are the archers. This expansion got killed by the skeletons. He will now finish it with the knights, so we lost 1 base, but at least he still didn't get this one, yeah. So now he's still on 0 income, except remaining 600 gold here, while we still have 1 base here, even though also not really working. So now I'm on 1700 food. He's on 2300, so 600 more food worth of units, or maybe even more. He's still going up. And I have 0 income now, basically same as he has. And now I decided to go for 1 small push up here. At the same time he's pushing me here, yes, so we are constantly fighting on multiple fronts. There is another fight in the middle, so now we are fighting on 3 different fronts. With different armies, so I actually decided to retreat on the top because that was a little bit too much. I also didn't have army strong enough to actually push it there. But the problem is that he's really ahead. As I said, he has like 600 or 700 more food worth of units. And he's also fighting me on multiple different places. Here it's really important for me because I am getting resources here. This is also really important because this is a strong choke point, so at least I place 1 cannon here for defense. Unfortunately he managed to bring the barracks down, so that was kinda unfortunate. Now we can start getting into my base. I also had a rally point here of my knights, which was not the smartest move because I was losing them constantly. but yeah, this didn't really help me. I lost some defense, he stopped my income. Also here he still has the archers that I can't deal with just with knights, and since they are level 3, for me to actually push this I would need like 10 or maybe even 15 swordsmen with some levels and mainly shields up, and ideally some potions as well, or just huge army of archers or cannons, of course, with siege mode, I mean artillery mode, but this is just really hard to push overall. I started shooting with 2 cannons now, but as I said, level 3 archers don't really care too much about it. So a really strong position for him, and unfortunately he can reach with his arrows on the peasants that are gathering here, so that's really difficult, and that's definitely making it pretty hard for me. He actually gained the map control now here, and he started making the base, which I didn't know about immediately, but it was kind of obvious that he will set up a base here sooner or later. Now he actually left with the archers, he wants to push me all in, and he's also coming with knights from behind, so he's trying to attack me from 2 sides, but I kinda predicted that and scouted him, so I'm coming also with the knights from 2 sides. So now he will basically close my army here from 2 sides, and then I will close these knights who are behind me with another army, and I will also attack him from 2 sides. So total mix of everything. We are both attacking with 2 armies now in this insane fight on this place. I think I have a little bit more knights here, but he has better levels and also the archers there. Fortunately, I can also buy potions here. Unfortunately, I don't really have much resources, so I somehow managed to force him back, even though we have like same amount of knights, but he was probably not too confident with his micromanagement of heals during the fight, so he rather retreated, healed it out of the fight, and now he's coming back. I'm also trying to heal. He has another army of swordsmen prepared now while still having this huge army at home. To be honest, if he took everything, he could probably push it here with artillery mode, but once again, he also cannot focus on 10 different places at once. He was now trying to somehow hold it here because it was really important for him since he had full income from that. But he still has so many resources. Yeah, he sets up a little bit more farms, he can produce way more units, and now he's 1,100 food ahead. Yeah, he's on 2,500. And I have only 1,500, so this is totally crazy. He's way ahead, I have 0 income, 0 resources, and we are somehow trying to hold it. And this is really important, how to deal with these situations. Now he's also going to take my outpost, gain control of the center of the bottom side of the map. But as I was saying, in these situations it's really important to do effective trading. That means basically that no matter how strong or big your army is, you want to only trade when you get the kills and the enemy doesn't, which you want to do all the time, but sometimes you can sacrifice some units, for example, to weaken the enemy economy if he won't be able to recover from it or something like that, or to gain some important information. But here I just try to kill the swordsman. Of course now I need to hold him. If I retreat now I will lose my whole economy, so I needed to fight him. Fortunately I was really able to use my heals pretty effectively here. He had some nice levels there, and even though he maybe had more knights, with some okay micromanagement, I'm not saying perfect, but pretty decent, we were able to once again somehow push him back. Of course it's also giving me some extra resources once we can start gaining some kills. Usually at the start of knight versus knight fight you won't be getting too many resources because both of you will be spamming heals, but once you start running out of mana and potions and these kinds of stuff, you will start getting some extra kills and resources. So immediately I'm spending it on more knights, trying to increase the size of my army. He still has the control of this outpost. I managed to push him all the way towards the bridge, but I know that he has some defense behind it with ranged units, so now I'm retreating. He's bringing some extra knights from the other side of the map. Here he has strong defensive cannons, so I definitely cannot push it there. And now we are retreating once again towards our main base. He's capturing this, but if I will be standing here with the knights, he shouldn't be able to take it. But of course he has a strong vision here. I have 3 knights with shields, swordsmen with shields. Once again, the only way to actually take this is to make my own swordsman, but he has some really good levels. Not too many units can actually fit up here, so it's almost impossible to take. You will need to siege it down forever with archers or cannons, or you need to make some swordsmen, level them to level 3, and then bring them up there, which will take forever. So now immediately I'm coming back to my town hall, buying potions, and as quickly as possible going for the enemy base to stop his income, because as I said, I still have 0 gold. I have 1,500 food, he is on 2,300, and he still has 10,000 gold. Yeah, so total insanity. He's so much ahead in terms of bow resources and army. So he's once again coming with his knights. Now he also has the advantage of the archers here, but I just knew that I have a little bit better levels. I'm really trying to keep my army alive as long as possible, not lose any units, trying to micromanage as best as possible as I can, because right now I don't have anything else to focus on. Yeah, if I get some extra resources, I want to queue up some new units, but overall I mostly want to just fully focus on my micromanagement, because this is the only thing I can really do. I can't really get more bases unless I actually win some fights. I don't have another army to split push somewhere, or really take care of anything else except queuing some units from time to time. And if I don't do that, it doesn't really matter. I will need to remake them after the fight anyways. So I was fully focusing on my micromanagement. As you can see, it actually worked out quite well. And this way I'm actually managing to keep my knights alive for a really long time, getting the levels there, and the army is becoming stronger and stronger, even though it's actually a quite small amount of units in comparison to what my enemy has. Unfortunately, I don't really have that kind of units anymore to actually protect my bases. I still have some archers that I left on my buildings. I haven't retreated with those. But in terms of knights that I would have spread around my farms to protect them during the night against the skeletons, I don't really have that anymore. Only the new ones that I produce I can use for that, but outside of that I don't really have it. So I'm at least using my main army to run around the map, kill some skeletons on open field. They just spawned in the forest. There is many units dying all the time, so more and more skeletons are spawning as well all the time, which means more resources for us, so that's really good. I also have the small advantage of actually still having some decent wood, even though he still has the forest there, so if he needed wood he could definitely gather it. Seems like he doesn't worry about it too much. Of course he wants to keep these trees here, for example. It was actually a mistake to create a hole in here, but if he destroyed it all, it would be even easier for me to push here. He would need to move his defense to this location, so he doesn't want to remove that, but these trees in the back are totally free for him to take. Of course I still have decent map control, so I can gather trees wherever I want, yeah, for example here. But I still have decent amount of wood, so it's kinda okay. We are on 1600, food is on 2000, yeah, so he lost actually quite a decent amount of units, maybe even some peasants, not sure, during the night, while also losing the knight here in the front. And I actually managed to create some new units. He still has lots of resources and 300 extra food already. And if he creates a few more farms, he will have even more, so he can create new units as well. But I also still have few more resources. I just need to once again re-diversify my peasants a little bit better, so we have some better food income. Probably doing it right now, but we have lots of food in stock, so that's kinda good. 200 as well, yeah, so definitely not struggling with food. We also reached the 1 hour mark in the length of the game. Already 7 extra minutes after that, so we are getting towards the end of the game, but as you can see it's totally crazy. Definitely wasn't a quick one base push or something that the game would end, as it usually is. This is like the most heavy macro game you can have, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it. And now, yeah, as you can see, this is all the units I managed to accumulate during the night, so there's like another 20 knights at least. And I still have this huge army of another maybe like 25 or 30 knights. We are buying some potions for extra resources probably, or I was just defending here, not sure. But these knights have really good levels, that's the most important thing. And now I decided to buy the potions for them, which is really good. If you have leveled up knights, definitely buy potions for them. That's just better value than creating some extra level 1 knights who won't fit in the fight anyways, because you have narrow places where you fight, not just some huge open fields like this one, where you can just use as many units as you want. And I decided to rebuild my base here. Unfortunately, there is still the weak point of this position of this base, that he can still harass it with these archers from this outpost that I don't have any way of taking back. He also still has the vision here with the swordsman. Yeah, if we check it, as you can see, actually now let's take a look on the fight. He's on 2200 food, I'm on 1900, so only 300 difference. But as you can see, I have like few knights here, not the biggest army, definitely nothing too crazy. But with the nice micromanagement and the strength of the units, I was able to hold him long enough for my second army to arrive from the other side. Now we basically caged him from 2 different sides. Still can't do anything with the archers, but at least we managed to force him back. Now he's trying to turn around with his cannons. make some shots here, but I predicted that, so I immediately retreated. And now we are retreating with our knights as well that were in the front. Maybe actually choosing some different paths here. But he's mainly trying to shoot on my peasants here, which is kinda smart. He's trying to stop my economy, stop my income, because he probably knew that I have no resources. I also thought that he has no resources, but 10,000 gold is definitely not no resources. It's 2300 food, I'm not even on 1900. Some small push won't really achieve much. I will just push him back, but he also is level 3 on all of these knights, so I won't be able to kill them definitely unless we fight for a longer period of time. It would be nice if I can manage to save this knight, level 3. Unfortunately he died. Wasn't healing there for a second, probably was queuing up some new units or something. But here he made a huge mistake. He actually ran with his archers to an open field, so I was able to get into them with my knights, killed few of them, so really good. Unfortunately he has some cannons prepared, so it's getting more difficult. He's still shooting me with the archers. I even brought my own archers from the back, but it wasn't really worth it. I had level 3s there as well, but he's on the high ground and also has potions, so just not enough. At least I managed to probably kill all the archers here that he brought to the open field. He has lots of cannons in the back. Fortunately we are fighting like inside of each other in terms of the armies, just in one place, so it's really hard for him to aim for some places that will be actually effective, where he deals some serious meaningful damage to me and doesn't shoot himself. It was mostly just either hitting both of us and dealing some serious damage to all the units, or if he, once again, if he hits my level 3 knights, it doesn't really matter. They take little damage, then I heal them and we are totally fine. So once again, effective trading. We are a lot behind. It's still similar, yeah, but I'm around 1800, he's 21, so I think the gap is like 100 smaller now, so I think the fight was effective. It's definitely not about one effective fight and you just gain, you just go ahead now. It's about these constant pushes where you try to kill few units, not lose anything, retreat, once again push maybe from different sides, try to reposition during the battle, just overall try to decrease the difference between the disadvantage you have and the army your enemy has. Yeah, so just try to decrease the disadvantage basically with each individual push. Here he was actually shooting into his own units, kinda interesting. Once again trying to push the knights in there, get as much damage as I can, spam the heals, try to surround him a little bit, and just force him to constantly retreat across the bridge. If I lose this position and he takes the bases and set up some strong defense or just rush into my economy, it's GG. So I just needed to make sure that he doesn't get through here. I was constantly pushing him back across the bridge. He could reposition and attack on the other side of the map, but I still have really strong defense here as well. He would need to start sieging it with cannons. Even for the cannons to reposition them would take forever, so I would have some time to set up a base, for example, as I'm doing right now, or I would also have time to retreat with my knights across the whole map and actually start defending here as well. Or if he retreated from here actually and started attacking me on the other side, then I can just take my knights and push him from here too. So it's just not a solution for him. He has to stay here, and since he's not able to push me, he's kind of locked in this position without any outcome. This is really strong because now he cannot harass me with the archers anymore, which he was able to do here, and wouldn't be probably able to harass my workers here, but it would be locked behind it, so he would be constantly sending some knights here, maybe on cannons, so wouldn't stay long there. But this is a strong position. I can really easily defend it with my knights during both the enemies and also the neutral enemies during the night. I set up some cannons here, I will quickly destroy those, run into his army, and hopefully we can kill these archers. They're actually still alive, we haven't killed them before, or he brought some new ones, but this was a nice push into them, trying to run through them so they cannot shoot, and at the same time just surround them so we can kill them as quickly as possible. Use all the heals again, and once again, really nice value from this push. I killed many cannons, many archers, even some knights here, and with heals I managed to basically save either all or definitely most of my units. Now I also have a really strong position. He's going through this narrow entrance, but I'm surrounding him from all the sides, so this is really good. He's riding more into me, so giving me even more opportunity for some damage, but he had really strong heals there, so we didn't get too many kills from this. But overall, I think really nice value from this, and we are on 1800 food, and he is now on 1700. So this was finally the time where we managed to turn it around, and now I'm the one with the gold, with the food advantage. In terms of gold, he is still on almost 10,000, yes, so we can still reproduce the units, but at least we finally gained advantage in terms of the food that is actually being used, and now I also finally have full income, so this is really good. We can start gaining some nice resources. And in terms of workers, I don't think I have full peasants anymore. I lost some to the neutral enemies, mainly here. I lots of farms as well, and I don't think I was reproducing all of them, but I probably still have more peasants, so lots of food will be in that as well. He is not gathering anymore, he has only peasants on farms, so that's not too effective. I have 2300 income, he has 25, so definitely more farms, but maybe I have them diversified a little bit better, which would mean even less peasants, yeah, so I'm not sure. Overall we probably have similar amounts of peasants, but maybe I have a little bit more, I'm not exactly sure. But now we are getting some nice neutral kills. Once you get more map control, you get more places to farm the neutrals, so that's always good. Would be probably better to just remove these cannons from the buildings and kill it only with the knights here, so we get some levels and also resources, and also don't actually kill our own units, farms and peasants. But I was too lazy for that, yes, so I was mainly just focusing on this place now. One thing I wanted to say before the big fight happened there is that he could have taken his cannons and started sieging me from here. I think you have probably range, at least for the town hall, and maybe some peasants on the edge here. Not sure about all of them, but I think you should be able to siege this same way as you can siege from here this expansion. Of course, he probably didn't see this yet. I stopped him here. Yeah, he set up 2 cannons after I made the expansion, and then just all the units were behind it. So I don't think he saw this, but he could kind of predict it, or just blind shot here, yeah, with the cannons. Or if he had some units here, he would probably scout it. So I think that would be definitely an option. He could be sieging me down with the cannons. He doesn't have too many of them. Actually, he still has a decent army of cannons. Even though I killed some of them in the front, he still kept lots of them in the back. He has even more here, so definitely he could take his cannons and start harassing me here, maybe stop the expansion. I would need to probably allocate like 5 peasants from the bottom to actually constantly repair the main building, or ideally also upgrade it so it has more HP, and then just gather on these bottom gold veins while ignoring the top ones where he would have range to harass me. So it would definitely make it much harder for me to gather here. And I wouldn't really have any answer for that back, because I don't have any cannons to fight him back, or at least not as many to be efficient enough. And this is the only place where I can actually get the resources, or maybe back in here, but this one will be still harassed by the archers. And then the only answer for me is to just take all of my units and rush into his base, which is kinda suicidal still, since he has so many defensive units. So now he decided to take his cavalry, and he probably wanted to destroy my base here. He probably thought that I still have this, or maybe even check this position. To his surprise, I think he didn't find anything. Or I mean, he found the information that I don't have anything there, but that's probably not what he wanted to find. He wanted to harass some peasants. But at least he got some neutral kills, so that was definitely quite good for him. Here he still has decent defense of cannons. And I still need to deal with some extra undeads here, so I cannot push him immediately, so he has enough time to retreat. So kinda lucky for him. If I manage to get here with my army, then his knights would have to either continue pushing into me, which he actually could. He could harass me a little bit here, but overall he would probably just lose the knights and wouldn't achieve much. On most places I have the forts where I can retreat with my peasants. I have bows, so obviously I will be doing some nice damage to him. And I also have lots of units just spread around the map casually, because they are defending there during the night, and I don't really bother retreating with them. All archers will be usually level 3, and also some knights there. But yeah, now I was just accumulating as many units as possible. We have the income, so this is really good for me. I don't have actually any scouts here right now, so he could potentially have some bases there, but I hope that I will quickly fix that and soon just send some scouts there. Or maybe I will just go for a push. But now I just wanted to really make sure that I have full 2 groups, and probably I had third one as well with some extra units. So something like 50 knights maybe. And I wanted to buy potions for all of them. Mainly the leveled ones. Yeah, so group number 1 where I have probably only level 3 knights. and then the group 2 will probably have some level 2 knights. I wanted to buy potions for all of them. If we have some extra gold, we can either make more knights for the last group or just buy some extra potions there as well. He doesn't have any potions, he still has decent levels on these knights, but doesn't have much behind it. Not sure why the cannons are not on the buildings, but also not in siege mode, so not really utilizing them, but probably wasn't expecting attack yet. We are on almost 2300 food. He is on basically 2000, yeah, so we are like 300 ahead, which is pretty good. And you have to keep in mind that it's not just some random food that is pushed into, used for like swordsman level 1 with no potions. This is level 3 knights with double potion, just the best unit you can have, the best use of food you can have, total elite army. And this is basically all the 2300 food, while he has also strong army, but not as effective. He has some level 1 archers and swordsmen here, so this is definitely much stronger army. He can still set up really strong defense with the cannons, but outside of that he doesn't have too many options to actually defend it anymore. And now I decided to actually attack from the other side, which would be smart because there is a huge open field now. That will be a really easy push, but I sent just to make sure one scout here, and that definitely really paid off. Yeah, every time when you are repositioning your army across the whole map to attack from another side, always send a scout to the other side as well, or on the side where you are. And this alerted me of the enemy push potential, so I just decided to retreat with all of my knights and just push into this, because I didn't want to go across the bridge, which would be really strong for him to defend. But since he was already here, this was just free kills for off cannons for me, because he cannot retreat with those. He also has some units here with cannons, so I just moved away from those, and now I just decided it's enough already, 1 hour and 20 minutes of this game. Let's just go all in. He tried to set up some defense here with the cannons, actually dealing maybe some decent damage. Also had some archers here on the side, so quite decent positioning, even though he should definitely have some cannons on the buildings, but it was just not enough anymore. Yeah, I just used all of these, as I said, maybe 50 knights with those potions and everything, spamming heals, trying to push all of my units into his army as quickly as possible to just disrupt him. And then we just rushed into his base, started killing the economy, mainly the peasants, all of the knights, swordsmen, archers, cannons, everything. Yes, all the units basically, so we are just pushing into everything. And as I said, since he didn't have anything on the castle and just few archers on the barracks, the push is actually not too difficult. That was the biggest mistake now. I think he could have definitely dealt way more damage to me now, even though it would probably still not be enough. I have a very strong army, but he still also has a lot of knights with some good levels, so potentially he still had a chance. He still has 8,500 gold, so all of these knights could have double potion. I'm not sure what he was waiting for. He has the castle right here, so that will be really free purchase for him. But we can see that he's trying to somehow heal in the back, sustain it. I was always constantly lurking him out with few units, and when he pushed into me, I quickly turned around and retreated, and at the same time I had some extra small group of knights in the back destroying the buildings, so constantly getting some value from standing here, dealing some damage to him, but mainly healing, just trying to stall him, while basically getting the value from all the damage I'm dealing into the buildings. And now I just ran in where there was no more danger from units being on the buildings, and we just went all in and tried to destroy the remaining units. He's on 1000 food now. I'm 2400, so even stronger army than before the push, because I'm constantly producing units, and he's just constantly rising. I'm getting so many resources from all these skills. As you can see, I have lots of knights at home already prepared that I will move here in a second again. We still have some mana left, so I'm using heals. We still have lots of potions, so it will be pretty much really easy. All of these knights by now will be probably already level 3 or at least level 2. We still have the income from this base. We still haven't taken any other bases, so no more real danger for us. Now I'm taking the extra army. So here he was still retreating with some decent army of knights. I saw the defensive positions here with cannons and archers, so I rather just decided to take them one by one down, not really spread my army too much. But now I finally came with the next army, so started pushing him from the other side, even though those are just level 1 knights with no potions, and we have so many of them. Of course, we'll take down barracks, even though he has level 3 archers there on top of it, or maybe even level 3, and 1 cannon. And here my main army is just continuing to push onto his main base. He tried to even level up his, or upgrade his town hall to 4. But it's obviously too late, so we just push into his economy with our knights, finish everything really quickly, hopefully not lose any units. Yeah, nice use of potion here, heal. More units coming from all the sides, and knight is coming, but I still have the same defense at home as I have during the whole game, so it shouldn't even be that big of a problem, even though there was lots of kills now, so probably would be a lot of undeads, but we won't see that anymore because the game is ending in like half a minute, so just few undeads or skeletons will just spawn somewhere, and then the game will most likely end. So we are ending on 27,000, sorry, not 27, 2700, so 2700 food, 10,000 gold, 2,500 wood, and eventually call it GG for him. He also responds with GG and eventually surrenders. So extremely tiring game of 1.5 hours. Remember that I also had to commentate it now, so it's 3-hour game for me basically. But let's check the results, finish replay. Gold mined almost what is it, 120,000 gold for me. In terms of mined gold, he has basically half of that with 63,000. I have 31,000 lumber harvested, he has 18,000, so once again, not like double, but definitely like 60% more or something. Units trained, I trained more, but only by 87, I mean not 87, 85. And keep in mind that I mined double gold. Yeah, I mined double gold, I killed more neutral enemies, right here, more neutral enemies by 500. I also killed more normal enemies, so this is all the incomes you can have, yeah, from neutral kills, from normal kills, and from gold mined. This is the only income of gold you can have if I'm not missing anything. And yeah, also from dealing damage to buildings, for example, yeah, from the top with swordsman. But overall, this is the biggest incomes you can have, and somehow he still made basically the same amount of units as me, even though he had probably less than half of my resources. Yeah, so I'm not really sure how he did it, but somehow it worked. As I said, I was spamming mainly knights, but he was also making lots of cannons, some knights as well, so I don't necessarily think that that was the solution to this. Somehow he was just getting ultimate amount of resources, and I'm not really sure how he was constantly sitting on 10,000 gold actually in the end anyways, that he could still spend on more units too. But yeah, definitely I think a really nice showcase of a macro heavy game. Lots of resources, he had infrastructure also insane, 91 buildings, he had 40, which would be normally like definitely a lot, but 91 is even more than 2 times of that, so really crazy. As I said, kills, he has 631, which is like 30% more than what he had, a little bit more units and lots of neutral kills, yeah, but both over 2,000, so really insane. So yeah, this was the longest 1v1 rank game I have played yet. It was with the player Nikuda, as we said, and hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. Maybe more people will now try some macro heavy approach. Also, I don't know when you are seeing this video, but probably the patch is already out. But when I'm recording it now, tomorrow is Friday, and patch should be coming out. So I think from what I heard, there should be some changes that will definitely reinforce some macro heavy playstyles. So I think we'll soon see more games like this, maybe not as long, but definitely something a little bit more focused on multi-base gameplay instead of just some one-base rushes. So looking forward to that. We'll see how the meta develops, but this was definitely much different than all the other games that I was playing lately. So it was kind of refreshing, at the same time pretty tiring, as I was saying. So hopefully you stayed till the end. If you did, definitely thank you a lot. If you enjoyed this video, throw me a like down or even a subscription if you want, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.